I'll just pull the string out of the middle of that pile and see where it unravels.
Yes.
There is a lot of things that have been happening. And truthfully, whether we're plugged in or not, there are some things that we just will not know. And there are some things that we don't need to know. The fact that we've been in ONPASSIVE as founders, affiliates now for more than a year, we should know by now, with as much as 5 years in history, with a lot of us now, we should know that everything that happens for a reason, and we're building the foundation that is actually helping founders. It's helping us. And if people don't understand that by now, then it's a really very sad state of affairs, because everything that Ash and the teams are doing is building global alliances and partnerships with larger than what we may know and understand and ever been involved with communities, governments, businesses, industries. And that's what they do. And the fact that they're doing this for us, the fact that they're doing this to help ONPASSIVE be known around the world with its products is huge. No other company has ever gone looking to help their own people. We'll use that term. And so this right away sets us apart from everybody else. There is no comparing us to somebody else. And I think this is what frightens a lot of people, both in ONPASSIVE as well as those who are watching us, because they don't understand the enormity of what we have and where this is going and how we are growing. What people may see when they do touch base here, when they do get a little bit involved, is really the tip of the iceberg. And icebergs are huge. We know, of course, of historical icebergs and what they've done in the world. I can say I've actually been and walked on icebergs through my cruise travels. I've been on the top of an iceberg and I've seen through proper devices just how deep they go. So I do have a real understanding of what this means when we say the tip of the iceberg. The other thing I want to touch on, and then I'll cede to the next person, is fear. There's a lot of fear right now. For most people who've been in other businesses, the fear is, will this really ever launch? Well, fact, this has launched already. Fact, we are out there already. Fact, the company is spending tremendous amounts of money to have these booths at these different trades and shows and government exhibitions. So we have launched. We have people waiting in the holding tank to come to us as customers, as the company, and as Ash said, from the very beginning. So while the main basic mission and goals and statements that Ash has made from the very start have not changed in terms of the company doing it for us, helping us, being there for us, we can sit back, but we still have to put the key in the ignition. We still have to purchase that one product, O Connect. So for anybody who thinks that this is just going to happen without them doing anything, from the very beginning, one should have been told there were 2 payments that would be needed out of pocket. So everything has moved forward. Yes, it's changed. Yes, it's grown. Yes, it's larger. So the fear of it not happening should really be reduced. The fact that we've heard that people have received commission withdrawals should help to reassure people. Have we received it yet? Each one of us? Maybe not. But we know somebody who has. And we've been together with these people for long enough that we should trust them. And if we don't, then those are issues that we have to look at. But the other fear I want to just touch on is the fear of success. How many of you are really ready for what is going to come our way, what we're starting to see coming our way already? Absolutely, Andy. Absolutely. How many of you have done the exercises to upscale yourselves, upscale your own thinking, your own thoughts, your own awareness of your finances in your own lives? And people question and don't always understand when I say this, but what I mean is we have each earned salaries, we have each earned commissions and monies throughout our lives. Look at the growth of that financial abundance. Don't look at the debt you may carry just at the moment. Look at what you have been able to manifest through your jobs, your positions, salaries, commissions of what you have earned. So total all of that on average and see what that amount is. So you've already manifested money in your lives. Now, the way you've spent it, what you've done with it, are choices that you may or may not choose to tweak or shift or change as we move forward now in ONPASSIVE and with those monies coming in. But don't forget that you have created a wealth already through what you've done and where you've worked. So I'll just leave that as a starting point, let other people jump in, and I look forward to maybe picking up some different trains and different threads as we go on. Thank you, Comfort.
Yes. Wow, thank you so much, Robin. I just appreciate everything. It was a powerful opening. And I like the reassurance that nothing has changed. It remains the same. All is going to be done for you. However, so we'll look at the however later on. Frank, I think it's going to be a back and forth between our leaders because we need as much information as they can provide for us today. So let's hear from Jeffrey, please.
Well, hello, and good day to every one of you. Man, you guys are looking good here today. Comfort, thank you so much for inviting me here. And yeah, I hear you. I don't jump on a lot of these because I'm doing a lot of other things, but I'm sure glad to be here today and to see all you guys. And I've missed some of you. Man, it's like, wow, you know. And Robin, thank you so much for opening this thing up and kind of flaying it out and laying it on the table for us. We appreciate that. I would certainly agree with everything that you just said, and I like the big picture vision that you just gave us because that'll give us something to work with from every angle. You know, things are moving really, really fast, and they're moving very fast, more so in the background. If you're focusing in on onesies, twosies, you're going to think that things aren't happening. I know that there's a lot of people that email me, they text me, I see the comments, you know, and some of them are just disappointed. Some of us get disappointed because we don't see things happen that we want to see happen, and we're focused on that little section of what we're looking at, so it doesn't look like something's happening. Well, things are happening. There are tons of things happening. If you look at the branding and the marketing that we've done, if you look at the components we talked about, right, all the strategic partnerships, I think we're up to 6 or 7 of them now, the branding at the Burj, the branding on the Eye of Dubai, if you look at the data center and plans for that we've got going on, all these things, you know what, Mr. Mufar is juggling. He's got about 14 balls in the air at any one particular time. And just because we don't see them or we don't understand what they're doing doesn't mean things aren't happening. They are absolutely happening, and they're happening faster now. And the leaders try to get it right. We try to put it out as we get it in a way that people will understand. Sometimes we don't get it absolutely right. But we'd ask that you just keep in mind, we're human. You know, and we're trying to do this and trying to keep up with it like everybody else. So I guess my opening statement would be, if you're not seeing anything happening, or if you got a perception where things aren't happening, then yeah, you need to get more involved. You need to get engaged. Jump on social media. There are a billion Facebook out there. There's YouTubes. And there's a bunch of good leaders with a lot of good updates that come across the social media. And if you'll just take, and I don't mean 2 or 3 hours, just grab a 10 or 15-minute video from some of these leaders and just wrap your head around all the things that have been happening, especially in the last 3 months. I mean, man, we have really, Mr. Mufara has really gone gangbusters, and he has really picked up the pace, and we got a lot of great things happening. So enjoy today. Get the questions out there. You got an all-star cast here, and I'm proud to be here. Thank you so much, Comfort. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks, Jeffrey. Guys, like I said, you just want to take down notes. Anything you want to maybe ask a follow-up question on, just be patient, because when it's time, we'll open the room for Q&A. So let's listen to our leaders. Over to you, Brother Frank.
Thank you, Sister Comfort, and thank you, Jeffrey. I totally agree with you. A lot's happening. Some are meant to be seen, others are not meant to be seen or heard by ears, because even if we hear or see, we will not understand. I mean, all that we need to do is to know that there's somebody out there spending sleepless nights, working day and night just to make us feel comfortable. So that's all that we need to do. All we need to do is to follow the instructions. So thank you so much for stressing on that. let me call on the number guy. They call him Andy, the number guy. Andy, what's your perspective? It's your turn.
Well, let's talk numbers, shall we? Because I think that's well, I love it because I'm a numbers guy. Right. So we if you think about it, we've supposedly got 1.4 million early birds, or what we called founders. Now, unfortunately, for those that haven't done anything as yet, and for those that are sitting on the fence waiting for a commission to come in when they've got to activate before they can get a commission, not quite sure how that works, but hey ho. The possibility is, or the expectation is, that there's probably about 500,000 of us that were early birds that have probably, registered or will register before these customers are going to be allocated. And we have over 3 million customers. We know that. So we're going to get at least 3 customers. Could be more, could be slightly less, but hey ho. For those that don't have any in their group, the first customer that buys a product is going to give you $2.50 back, so you've made a profit already. And then the next ones are going to give you $62.50. So it doesn't take long before you start to not only make money, but your team grows, or your team is the wrong word, customer base starts to grow, and you start to see real action going on in the background. Now, bearing in mind that there's an awful lot of activity, as Robin mentioned and Jeffrey's mentioned, we've got a lot of strategic partnerships. Every single one of those that have registered with ONPASSIVE has to fall under an original early bird. So someone somewhere may well get one of these strategic partnerships put into their group. Now, if that isn't exciting, I don't know what is, but bottom line is, and I heard this the other day, which was absolutely fantastic. I thought this was a superb idea. Ivy Mix. So Ivy has set up a club. This is something everyone can do. You don't have to try and find people. You set up a club, and all she's done is gone on to Facebook. I love that word. Facebook. I'll say it again. Suggest, if there are others that would like to join her club and would like to be in part of a private club that's not looked at and etc., then here's my link. And she's put an ONET link in, and according to Marty, she has over 1,000 customers that have signed up in a month. Guys, that's phenomenal. So anyone who has the opportunity to do so, we all have the same opportunity at the end of the day. So why don't we take it? Now, one of the interesting things that I cottoned on to the other night from the meeting that was held is this is likely to go viral very shortly. Now, Collins will explain what viral means, but my understanding, it goes poof, like a mushroom cloud, and we've got millions of other customers coming in. Well, that's my understanding anyway. And if that's the case, you have to make sure that you've activated your account and bought OConnect in order to be able to take advantage. So what are you waiting for? We've been told time after time, look, you're going to need between $150 and $350 to activate your account. It's $143 for those that are founders. So it's less than our initial. So don't wait, get it in there, get activated, and let's see what happens. Oh, it's exciting. Back to you.
Thank you, Andy. What are you waiting for? Just get in there. That's what the number guy is saying, and that's what we need to do. There's a lot happening on the perspective of the IT guys. Many of us are not IT, so we are not really inclined to that. But I'm going to call on our brother Bob. In your layman terms, what's going on? on your side. Brother Bob, over to you.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here. Let's see. From a layman's perspective, what's going on? What's going on is good. Here's what Mr. Ash Bufara told us, one of his phrases. You know, he has this peculiar way of delivering his messages. He said, we are born big. Even a C-section cannot handle our delivery. We are born big. Meaning any system, there's no system that we have currently in the marketplace or in the industry that can handle unpassive or the volume of the transactions that we have. But in that same speech, he tells us that we have a solution. So we have to think, you know, Mr. Ash has told us so many things. This is one of those times where you have to remember what he said before and what he's saying now and put it together to see the big picture. But like I've always said, Ash Bufara is ready, he's prepared, he's steady, he's focused, he has a knowledgeable team, a knowledgeable technical team, and an executive team to do the job. You know, so from an IT side and from a compliance side, like I said yesterday, Mr. Ash Bufara is doing everything that the book tells us or tells him to do. You know, he's making sure we are compliant in all aspects, locally, regionally, globally. And I gave a specific example yesterday. You know, when you go into the system to make that payment, to make a payment right now, you will see several payment options: Visa, MasterCard, American Express. There is something there that you probably will not understand what it is. But from an IT side, from an IT perspective, when I saw it, I immediately jumped on the phone. I called Oliver, called Collins, and we're on the phone. I was telling the guy, this is it. He got it covered. The security of the system, of that payment gateway. You'll see something there that says PCI DSS. PCI DSS. That is it's a standard. Payment card industry data security standard. Okay? There is a council. There's a council called PCI SSC. Payment card industry security standard council. That council has an executive body which is made up of American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and there are two others. There are 6 of them. So they came together some time ago, a couple of decades ago, maybe. They came together and they formed certain security controls that must be in place for any merchant or processor that is receiving credit card information. It's for all credit card, debit card, Visa, all point of sale purchase, or anything, all these electronic transactions. They came up with this about 12 security controls, which you must have. And then they also stipulate that there must be something called a qualified security assessor that must assess these controls and give you what they call an attestation of compliance, AOC. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, he got it. So this is just to give those the customers that are coming into our system, into that gateway, what we call digital trust, to trust this environment. Mr. Ash has given them that trust by seeing that thing, the PCI DSS. It's a very big deal. It's a big deal in the security and compliance environment. Mr. Ash something also happened during this week. Those of us who are here in North America, on Monday last week, the President of the United States, he signed an executive order for AI, an executive order for the safe, secure development, secure and trustworthy development of artificial intelligence systems. And when I looked at that executive order, the document that I saw, there are about 8 stipulations and other provisions in there. The first provision says that all companies developing AI systems must give their test results. They must give their test results and all critical information to the US government. When I saw that as well, I was like, wow. If you have been here around about 3 years, maybe sometime around 2020, maybe 2021, Mr. Ash told us, all of us, the founders, that he had given access to the US government to our system. So he was already proactive. This is 3 years later, the President of the United States is signing an executive order asking for what Ash Mufarah was already complying with 3 years ago. And that is a foundation of how Ash Mufarah has built ONPASSIVE in terms of security. He has integrated security from the ground up, and that gives him global compliance. Any security measure that you put in front ONPASSIVE, they will pass because he has handled security from the ground up, you know. So I just wanted to throw that up from an IT perspective, and there are other things that we can talk about, but I will yield for now and let my brothers take on.
Oh, thank you very much, Brother Bob. Wow. You know, I could not agree with you more. You said our CEO is steady, is somebody who is prepared and is ready, and he's put together a formidable team to make our dreams come true. What else could you be asking for? Nothing else. Thank you so much. We are all lucky. Sister Comfort, I'm going to come back to you.
All right, thank you.
Take it over.
All right, sure. Thanks, Frank. So, guys, whoever is listening to us, I just want to take a quick disclaimer here. Brother Bob said a lot of stuff just to let us understand that a lot is happening. You don't need to understand anything he said. The only thing you take home is that we are fine. All right. You don't need to go study. Don't take books and go to class to study what he said.
Thank you.
All of those things.
I actually missed that.
Yes, what he is saying is that we are fine. That's just it, guys. So we can move on from here. Thank you. So the house is full. We are going to do something different today. We'll listen to as many of our leaders as possible from various perspectives, and maybe we may end up not having questions because it's so beautiful, the number of people I'm seeing here. So we'd like to listen to a good number of voices. But before we come to my sister Jean and sister Rose and the rest of the people on the panel, I would like Peter Rogers to make a comment, after which he would like to share a quick experience with us. And then if Brother Oliver is not in the house, Vincent will comment on what Peter will say for a few seconds, very, very brief, so that we can move on. So hi, Pete, welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
All right.
I didn't quite catch what you meant, Comfort, but what do you want me to...
So what I'm saying, if you have a comment, all of the things that have been happening through the week, you just share your perspective. How do you feel? Okay. What's going on? And so we would like you to share the security issue you had last week, so that we'll use that as, to learn from, to know that it can happen to anybody. If you won't mind though, bro. Thanks.
No. Okay, yeah, well, I'll start off with the security breach that I had on my WhatsApp. That's what you're referring to. It was my own fault. I'll be honest. It was my own fault. I made a mistake. I had a phone call from somebody who asked me to actually, if I was available that afternoon to go on a ONPASSIVE webinar. And at that particular time, I got my hands covered in filler. So I got my hand in. I got the phone in my hand. I got my hands covered in filler. And I was actually talking to this guy, and I said, well, I can't really attend a webinar this afternoon. I'm actually quite busy at the moment. And he turned around to me and he said, oh, what about tomorrow morning? We've got one tomorrow morning. And I said, yeah, tomorrow, that'll be fine. I can attend, obviously, a webinar tomorrow. And he said, I'll send you a link. And he sent me a link, and he said, can you read the code out to make sure that you've got the right code? Now, obviously, I was got my hands covered in paste, and I was looking at the phone, and I read out the code, and it was actually the code to my WhatsApp. So he actually hacked my WhatsApp account, because I willingly gave him the numbers that came up on my phone, thinking that was the numbers he was giving me to attend a function, and I wasn't quite thinking at the time, and I got hacked. And then obviously this guy went around all the people that was on my WhatsApp group, and I got lots of groups I'm involved in, and went around everyone asking for money. And it was, to be honest, it was a bit of a nightmare. And I'll be fair to WhatsApp. I emailed them more or less straight away, because within 3 or 4 minutes I had people ringing me saying, "Oh, what's up, Pete? What's the issue?" And they obviously said you've been obviously hacked. So I managed to email WhatsApp, and to be fair to them, they replied to me within 10 minutes, and they blocked the account. And but I haven't got access to that account now for 7 days, because the guy actually put he put another code in, and that code doesn't expire for another 6 or 7 days, so I've got to wait for that. So it is quite, it's I'm not tech survey like some of these guys. I just got caught out, and it's so easy to be caught out. So you've really got to be on your toes, and especially now, obviously, with what was going on with ONPASSIVE, and the obviously what we're with the commissions coming in and all that. You really got to be vigilant and be sure that when you're looking at your phone, if you're doing things on the phone, that you're doing and talking to the right people and doing the right things. And obviously, that's basically what's happened this week, which is obviously slightly different to the ONPASSIVE bit, but it's obviously important to what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But referring to ONPASSIVE and what's happened this week, like everybody, all the leaders here, they've all explained what's been going on. Obviously, with the card processors, as we know, yesterday they slowed the system down. And I know there's quite a few now has gone through today, and it's been cleared again today. But ONPASSIVE have done that themselves. Marty, I listened to Marty's live the other day, and he yesterday, I think, with Chris, and he was saying that ONPASSIVE had done it intentionally, because there were so many people that were paying for their OConnect, paying for their subscriptions, using the same card, and if they got 3 or 4 accounts, they were paying for 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the same card. And this is what causes this. It causes, obviously, they panic. These card processors, the gateway, they panic because I think the card's being used wrongly. And we have been told about it, but a lot of people obviously kept on doing it. And so now, they've slowed it down. And just to emphasize, obviously, if people have got multiple accounts and they want to obviously activate them, what I would suggest you do is use your card once an hour. Once an hour, once every 70 minutes or whatever, and and obviously activate your accounts. If you've got 3 or 4 accounts, then you can open 3 or 4 accounts at the same time. But only use those particular cards once every hour. So if you've got 4 cards, you can open 4 accounts, but only use those cards once every time you open obviously subscribe to OConnect. So obviously everything's looking good now. I know I haven't heard anything from Marty and Chris today, but I think the system is up and going again now. I know I did see earlier on somebody had said that they'd paid, and they had to wait an hour, and then they paid again, and it's all gone through smoothly. So it's all looking good. It's really, we're all excited, and there's just so much just going on in the background that we really don't know. We don't know, 1/10 of what's going on, but what we hear is very good. So I'll pass it back.
Sure. Thanks so much, Pete. Really appreciate, and thank you for sharing your experience, because we just wanted people to learn from that. Brother Oliver, what Peter Rogers shared about the experience with WhatsApp, do you confirm that it's something that can happen to just anybody? And maybe really brief on that so that we can move on, please. Thanks.
Yeah. Hey. Hi, everybody. In fact, I'm very happy. I'm seeing the house is full. I'm sorry I'm late. I have a problem with my car, so I'm running around with the one shop to the other. Yes, this thing, that is why we've been saying this in this house, that everybody is vulnerable. We are all vulnerable. So we should take extra precaution to like protect ourselves. Like what happened to Peter, it can happen to anybody. There's one thing in security, we always say, you trust, but you verify. When you trust even your own mom, your own brother, your own sister, when it comes in IT security, to secure yourself, your email, you have to verify. let's say it was Peter's mom or dad that called. Somebody can disguise and call Peter that is the mom or is this brother or is the sister that is calling. You have to verify. Make sure you verify. Say, I'll call you back. Call your mom, call your brother, ask, did you call me? If they sent you an email or a text message that click on this link, please do not verify. That's why we talk about you trust, but you verify. You know, because now we were all, I saw an email, I saw a text message, WhatsApp from Peter. I was like, what is this? You know, I called Collins immediately. Collins, Bob, and myself, we circle around with like, what is going on? Before Collins was saying that Peter's has been hacked. You know, I just delete and I block immediately. I block Peter's account immediately. So please, we should take extra precaution. Do not open it and attach. Somebody calls you, no matter how busy, it can happen to anybody. Like, look at what happened to Peter. Peter, because of unpassive, because somebody will use unpassive because they know that we are die-hearted unpassivians. They'll pass through unpassive and they'll get you, and Peter was hacked. And once they get Peter, everybody in his contact were all vulnerable. So please, I'm begging, we should take that precaution. When you see something, an email, a text message, or a link, or a call comes in, a call that will come in, please, you verify. Verify. Do not act on that text message or the link or the call. Please, you verify by calling back. If I see a text from Bob Collins, Vincent, I will not. I will call them. I don't care. I will call them to verify. So please, we should take that extra precaution because we are vulnerable now. We are very vulnerable. The bad guys are out there, you know, because they know that, you know, we are fine. So they'll pass through one of us to get us. Right. So I will not really stress on that since we are running against time. I just want to say, let me add my voice on this, and we should take that extra precaution. You trust, then you verify. Keep that one in your mind. You trust, then you verify. I don't care if it's your mom, your brother, Yahoo. You verify. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Brother Oliver. I think I know what you talk about, trusting and verifying, because when they hacked Peter's phone, that person reached out to me. He said, hi. And I was like, hi, Pete, because I know it's Peter. I said, hi, Pete. Then the next thing comes, I need money really quick to send to somebody in the hospital. My account is not working. I said, all right, Peter needs money. I was like, so who am I talking to? And he says, my name is Peter, because I said, hi, Pete, you know. So it's just to be careful. That's how I reached out to Collins. We are just sharing to know how easy and fast it can happen. So I think we should finally move on, please. Thank you. So Frank, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Comfort.
Okay, Pete, you want to say? Yeah.
So before, just want to say one more thing. Obviously, the person that spoke to me, he said he was from ONPASSIVE, and like Oliver was saying, that because obviously I'm really into the ONPASSIVE and want to know what's going on, you know, it sort of put a false field in front of me, if you know what I mean. It was like I was ONPASSIVE and I wanted to get it, but so I was really intense in it because it was ONPASSIVE. So you do fall into that trap. So, you know, just be aware. It happened to me. It can happen to anybody. All I really want to say.
All right. Thanks.
So Comfort, let me add something when Peter said this, right, before we move on. You know, when Michael reached out to me, he said, Peter, I've sent this email. I said, hi. Why would Peter address you as hi? I said, hi doesn't mean anything. I said, wait, I'll contact Peter. So I didn't contact Peter on WhatsApp. I called Peter direct. So when I called Peter, Peter said, I'm busy. Did you send email out to me because I received an email from you? He said, no. I said, yeah, WhatsApp has been hacked. So please try to reach out. I said, try to call. Peter tried with the WhatsApp. It wasn't going through. I said, check, your WhatsApp has been hacked because they've sent message to everyone in your contact.
All right. Thank you. Frank, please.
Oh, thank you so much, Peter, for sharing that experience with us. And we all got those messages. That's funny. Yeah. But it will get you, you know, especially they're using ONPASSIVE, like Peter said, and they're using churches. You know, they will certainly find a way. So we should all just be guided. I'm going to call upon Sister Jane Oliva. A lot has been happening the past week or so. What's your perspective, Jane? Let's hear you.
Well, thank you so much, Frank. Comfort. I'm sorry I'm late as well. I don't know what people shared in the beginning, but one thing that I feel is a sense of bliss. And I know that sounds strange. We're going through all this stuff with the payment processors and all this kind of thing, but I feel such a sense of confidence and peace about where we are. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But, you know, if you look at what O-Media is doing and what the company, we know what they're doing in the background, you know, and the payment processor, that's just a superficial thing that's being, you know, something we're going to get through. The meat of what we're doing here is going beautifully, magnificently. So I have this sense of peace. But what Peter brought up with the hacking and our vulnerability and whatnot, it just brings home what I think ONPASSIVE is really doing in the world, which is uniting people together, making them a force for good. So what we know that there is darkness out in the world. There are people that want to hack and take, you know, from others. And so here is someone got a little, you know, a chink in the armor. But what happened? The army of ONPASSIVE, the family of ONPASSIVE came together and took care of it. You know, that is what we are doing. That is our power. And that is where our focus should be on. You know, we are a massive global family about to have massive success together and go out and have a massive impact on the world. And so all of these things that are happening as far as like whether individual accounts are able to, you know, make a purchase or those, it's transient. It's going to be fine. As our wonderful brother Oliver has said, it is all perfectly fine. All is well. And I'm saying that from a place of deep certainty and an awareness of what's actually happening. It's not just, you know, bubblegum. You know, it's not just, I've been called a Pollyanna all my life, but it was always that when you see what's actually happening and look beyond the superficial to what the massive actual work that's being done by people like Professor Susan and Brother Kamal. When you see it, all the other things just fall away. They're not important. So what I feel is like my offer today is that sense of deep peace and certainty that we are in the absolute best place on the planet and we have important work to do, and together we're going to help, you know, each other through this interim of getting the machine moving forward, and then we're going to get to the real work. But I feel so excited and so blissed out, to be honest, and I haven't even had caffeine today, so I feel very privileged to be here. I know we're going to get through any challenges, any obstacles. They're just simply the expected bumps in the road of creating something that has never been done before, completely unprecedented. If we don't have challenges and things coming against us, resistance, it means we're not shaking up the apple cart. We're not upsetting the apple cart. We're not shaking things up. We're not creating any change. So when these things happen, we should say, thank you, God. Thank you for this thing happening, because it's going to make us stronger. It's going to bring us together. It's going to move us forward. And we know we're making just a unbelievable change in the world. So that's all I wanted to offer today. I know we have a lot of people that have wonderful things to share, but thank you so much for asking me to speak, Frank. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you so much. Certainly, I share that sense of peacefulness, that confidence, and I believe we all do, knowing that we have the best, you know, behind us, the best people, the best team, as Mufar and his team, doing everything for us. Thank you so much for that sentiment. We appreciate that. Sister Comfort, before I come to you, I'm going to call upon one of our brothers from the island, Raphael, to let's know what he has in store for us. Raphael, over to you.
Hey, what's up, all? How's everyone doing? Yes, I just would like to mention, guys, that we are in a state now with ONPASSIVE where we should be able to appreciate and trust in the process of what's going on with ONPASSIVE. Guys, we know that in life, everything goes through a process. You know, a baby is born. That baby is nurtured with love and food for a couple of months before it starts to creep and crawl. Then that baby starts walking. When that baby starts walking and moving around, you know, we have to keep eyes on them. But what happens when that baby starts running? And we have to try and keep up with them to make sure that everything goes right. Guys, I think that ONPASSIVE right now is that baby that has been born, but we're not creeping, we're not crawling. We're entering that running stage, guys. If your eyes and your mind is not focused on what's happening, you will get left behind during the process. You know, I think that we all here, I don't think that none of us here is being left behind. I think we all here are focused, and I just want to encourage all, you know, stay plugged in, keep your eyes on the prize. You know, we're all going into a massive life-changing period. And, you know, by the grace of God, it will happen. I just thought I'll share that with you guys.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you so much. I know you don't move with your by leaving your sister behind. Janet is in the attendee. She just, you know, we acknowledge you, Janet, for being with us. Thank you so much. Sister Comfort, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Brother Frank. So I think I'll just call one of our sisters in the house, and then we give it back to our two guests of honor today, Jeffrey and Robin, and then we see where that takes us to, guys. We have a long evening today. So Sister Rose, thank you for joining, and of course, just let us know how it feels given what's going on with our business.
Greetings. This is greetings from South Africa to all of you from around the world, and this is Rose Mutabi from South Africa. I just want to thank all the speakers who spoke before me. That was wonderful, and your input has a lot of weight to everyone who is in here, so that we may be able to, you know, grab whatever that has been said and disseminate the information to all the groups that we are managing on the ground. And let me, you know, let me come up with my input this way. I'm one of the leaders who are managing quite a number of groups, like in South Africa. And I know that there are quite a number of leaders in this forum who are managing, you know, other chat groups from wherever you are. And at the same time, I'm one of the admin manager in one of the global, you know, group chats, which is the Telegram group. And to be a leader sometimes is not easy. It's not easy when people have trust, you know, in you. I mean, back 5 years up until now, we have been, you know, managing these groups with love, with passion, with everything that one can mention. And my advice to each and everyone who is managing the group chat, let us make sure that we disseminate the truthful information to all these groups, and make sure that we attend webinars to grab the information from all the leaders who are tearing themselves apart to make sure that they share the relevant information with us. And you know, can you imagine the groups that I'm managing in South Africa? You won't believe if I say I'm managing about 8 groups, 8 WhatsApp groups. It's not easy. And what I realized from the beginning when I started, you know, coming in the front to manage this group, I realized that most of the people in our country, they don't, attend webinars because of the data. For them to can be able to attend the webinars, it needs a lot of data. And I took it upon myself to say, wow, you know what? We're not going to fall behind because of the data. I have to come up with plan B so that I attend these meetings to grab as much as I can so that I can share whatever I have grabbed, with other people around me. And this is what I'm doing. And I'm gonna. The ONPASSIVE is the company that we love. We love so much. I mean, our love is contagious. And what we are seeing happening this few days back, it is not even a train smash for us. We know that we are dealing with a smart, very smart CEO. And, we know very well that whatever glitch that it may have occurred, he will definitely make sure that he fixes it within a wink of an eye. And we waiting to see this cut payment, moving flawlessly. And I'm glad that our brother Peter Rogers just made mention something now, that there were some people now played this afternoon that they have tried to tamper with the system where the different types of payment methods are, so that they can be able to subscribe, and they managed to go through. I'm glad that those people were managed to go through. This is what I'm going to try immediately after this meeting, to try with the few accounts that I have to see if I can be able to go through. And once I go through, it is something that I will even go right away to the groups that I'm managing and try to advise them to try to see if they can be able, their payment subscription fee can be able to go through. But all in all, what I can say is that as leaders of these chat groups, let us try by all means to feed them with the relevant information, because they are looking upon us as leaders. And I want to thank you, Sister Comfort. I want to thank you, Brother, what's the name of my brother who? Frank. Yes, Brother Frank, for allowing me this opportunity to air my inputs. And I love you all. You are my family. You are my brothers and sisters from around the world. Can't wait when we can meet, together. I don't know where, but we are coming. With the day will come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sis. Thanks for coming. So she said a lot, but then one thing stood out: the fact that she said something that Ash resonates with what Ash thinks, that where there is a will, there's a way. So you don't take excuse that because I don't have data or I don't have this. If you're leading a group, you cannot give what you don't have. You need to feed yourself so that you pass it on. That's the great mindset, Sister Rose. Keep it up, and we really appreciate you for doing that. So we will go back to Jeffrey and Robin. We know that a lot has been said by our family in the house. However, the day was dedicated to you both. You may want to comment on a few things. You may want to bring in as much new information as you can, so that after this, if Frank agrees with me, we should gradually be moving to the Q&A. Jeffrey, please.
Hi, again, thank you. Thank you so much, Comfort. I certainly appreciate that. I'm not going to try to drill down on any one particular topic. I'm going to keep it kind of broad. I think that's what you're looking for, concerning, what we've talked about here recently. I do want to address something, though I think it's important for all of us to understand as charter members and as trying to get subscriptions going. If you're facing problems with or challenges with getting subscriptions paid, that doesn't necessarily mean that you've done something wrong. Okay, I mean, I've tried it 2 days in a row, 1 time a day, it fails. So just because it fails for you doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. Now, on the other side of that, if you're trying to make your payment and you lose internet connection, that counts. So it's not going to let you do it again. Or if you do something else that interrupts the process, that counts. It's not going to let you do it again. Please just be patient, because even though you started an action and the action wasn't completed, it still counts, and it's not going to let you. It's not going to let you do it again. Concerning what we've talked about here so far, which I love the conversations. I love the people that are talking. Comfort, earlier you said, hey, we're fine. Personally, I think that we're better than fine. I love, Gene, I love what you said a little bit ago. I mean, you hit the markers, girl. Bliss, peace, certainty. You got to love it, right? Again, we're better than fine, right? I mean, look at the branding and marketing. It is phenomenal. Nobody does it like we do. And it's done for us, all right? We're talking about something that is so big and so global. Nobody, I think, Gene, you said, or Robin, nobody can compare anything to ONPASSIVE, right? And what about the debacle that we had with the first round of payment processes, right? Man alive. That whole debacle set us up for greater success. And again, Gene, I got to point at what you said. We need to be thankful for the challenges that we're facing, because these are champagne problems. I mean, these are really forcing us to be better than we were and to go into a future that is going to be more successful than we ever thought that it was going to be. So, I mean, these challenges, every one of them, whether they're individually affecting us or whether there are teams or whether it's just the whole of ONPASSIVE, they're positively affecting the outcome, and we're becoming bigger and better and stronger. So, and all that is being done for us too. I mean, look at the products, whether you're in a business, right? And you're looking at things like O-Verify or O-Desk or O-Staff, nobody can touch us. Personally, looking at O-Connect especially, I mean, come on, all of it's being done for us. And everything that we're rolling out is being scrutinized 6 ways to Sunday, and any challenges are being met with a positive, complete, grateful attitude with Mr. Mufara and the tech teams, and we should be reflecting that. Raphael, a little while ago, you talked about having to keep up, right? I think, Robin, you alluded to that when you talked. You were talking about ONPASSIVE is going to be moving forward. Well, absolutely. ONPASSIVE is going to be continuing to move forward and expanding outward, and we're going to get bigger and better, and we're going to have things pulled into us, and people are going to want to work with us. And that's just how it's being done. And keeping up is simply a matter of staying engaged. It does not have to be hard. And we're going to experience the success that well, I'll put it this way. The success that we do experience is going to be in line with or commensurate with the amount of engagement that we also have. So the more we are engaged, the more success you're going to experience. And well, Gene, I think you mentioned something about that too. Is the point is, we don't have to be doing what everybody else is doing. We need to be doing what we can do and what feels good for us. That's what it was, Gene. You said right out of the gate, Gene, you said, I feel. And I'm telling you, feelings, right? They're an energy and they're a language, and they will lead you to your passion. And as long as you're following that, you are at home in ONPASSIVE, because ONPASSIVE is all about compassion. It's a compassionate action. It's about doing what's right because it's right, and you don't have to work real hard at it. So you can relax, you can breathe easy. I mean, you can listen to these leaders here. Every one of them are saying the same thing. We're all out going gangbusters doing what we can do, but it's what each of us can do, because we're all unique, we're all significant, we're all worthy of this despite what Andy says, okay? I appreciate that, Andy. Thank you. And other than that, but just thank you, Comfort. I love what you've got going here today. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thanks, Jeffrey. And of course, Robin, if you're here, please kindly say something. Thanks.
Thank you, Comfort. This has been exciting and very, very informative. So much information, so many different directions that people are interpreting and bringing forward to help everybody. I have been making notes from everybody who's been speaking, in addition to a few things that I've added myself. So if I may, I would like to touch on being active, being involved, staying up to date. The easiest way to do it, and with so much gratitude, appreciation, going out to Janet Butler, Daryl Cook, Peter Sarour, and for their notes in the back office. They are incredible. If you cannot spend the time on a live, and that's understandable, sometimes these lives do go into incredibly informative discussions with Ash. And if you can jump on and off to catch those gems and those pearls, absolutely fantastic that you're doing it, because you're hearing it from our CEO. You get to hear the passion, the excitement, the emotion in his voice of what is going on. So you're brought into it and you're part of it in that way. But if you cannot spend that time on it, please go to the updates in the O-Founders back office. The notes are posted in there, and specifically November 1st and November 3rd. All October is important as well, but even from October to November, there have been additions, there have been some slight shifts and changes, and it's all in the back office. It's not difficult. Grab a cup of tea, miss 30 minutes or put your TV on pause for 30 minutes, sit and read this. It's worth it. If this business is important to you, if you came into ONPASSIVE, initially for yourself, to make money, to improve your own life and your family's life, you need to engage. At the minimum, listening to, and the shorts that Chris and Marty and some of the others do, this is up-to-date information as quickly as possible. But the notes in the back office are there. They're tangible. You can read them. And please tell your organizations, the people that you helped come into ONPASSIVE for exactly the same reasons, tell them to read this. So many people are turning around now and saying, I don't believe this is going to happen. This is never going to happen. It's taken too long. The negativity right now is at a new peak again, a new high. Those who are engaged are struggling to stay positive with the people who are not engaged. A mindset, your attitude, only you can change that and shift it yourself. We can do that through checking ourselves with our belief in ONPASSIVE. I know we've been in other businesses. I know we've had failures. I know we've had little successes and things have closed and disintegrated, and we've lost a lot of money amongst the whole ONPASSIVE organization. Yes, millions and probably even larger numbers than that has been lost by all of us. But that was the reason for many people to come in and join ONPASSIVE. Why are you going to leave this now when we are just days away from everything that Ash has said to us? And the founders package, the launch packet for the founders of $143 will not be repeated. At the moment, we haven't heard anything else other than the first 90 days expiring on November 30th. So by then, we will know what the new package subscriptions are. By then, we will know what the options are. Stay in view of what's happening, what Ash has said to us. The updates will occur as needed and as he will adjust them. Nobody will be left behind if they're making the effort to be part of it. From your own attitude and mindset adjustment, from there, which happens, first of all, through your own belief in ONPASSIVE. Secondly, through the people that you are talking to, the groups that you engage with, what you are doing to keep yourself positive, informed, and up to date. Only through that can you then help others be positive, or help them to say, you know what, it's not for me and I'm waiting, and that's fine too. Nobody's being forced to do this. But for all the people that I spoke to, and for all the groups and the founders that asked me to be on calls and to help people understand what this was about, I cannot believe the number of people, and it's with great sadness that I'm hearing people saying they're not going to do anything more right now. You won't lose out. You'll still be able to activate at some point. But why lose this wave? Why lose this initial momentum? And momentum is a word in any industry that people always want to be part of. So why lose the momentum that is happening now in a very, very, very short time? So that's one of the things.